it's not financially feasible to say like, hey, I'm going to go buy a boutique version of every version of the Big Muff ever, because that's at least $200 a pop. I was like, I'm just going to learn how to make these. I can make them for like $50 max and I'll be set. And I saved all this money. But now it's like, oh, I'm going to build this pedal and this. Like, dude, I've already spent like, my wife's like, are you spending? I'm like, dude, these chips are like 17 cents. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry. She's
Yeah.
not watching this. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Well, hey, anyways, Pummeled's on the show. Make some noise for the internet.
Yeah.
I recently redid my setup, and I don't have the buttons that make the noise anymore. So I'll do all that.
Right.
I'll do all that in post.
I was hoping we
Or maybe I'll throw in the booze or whatever.
yeah.
we
Throw
gotta
some
do.
booze in.
Yeah,
That'll be
definitely.
proper for us.
That button would fall off by the end of this.
Yeah. It looks great in here, by the way.
Yeah, it's
a
really cool.
really good feng shui. I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I wish you could all see this room and like
Yeah.
not just here, but over there. I'm looking at a lot of cool stuff.
Oh, thanks. Yes, that's all of my conversation starter type stuff. I usually figure out, I know you gentlemen, so I don't have to suss you out.
Yeah.
But when I have strangers over, a good way to tell if they're going to be cool or not, or a way to navigate the conversation if it goes off track,
Yeah.
is, just make a note like, oh, if somebody comments on an X-Files figure, it's like, okay, well, maybe we could talk about conspiracy theories
Yeah.
or something. I've actually recently been rewatching all of the X-Files.
Been there.
What always happens is I always like do it and I'm like, this show was amazing. I can't believe it was on TV. Crazy. And then I completely don't think about it for years. And then I watch it again and it's the same fucking thing.
Mm-hmm. It's Groundhog Day.
People really used to try
Yeah.
with things. They really
Yes.
did.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
And people would let people do weird shit. Am I just like old? Or does like weird, cool stuff not exist anymore? I
It
feel like that's
doesn't.
some old man yelling at the cloud type shit.
I feel like maybe that might be more tied into like the music industry, like not taking chances, where it's like, well, we'll make our money if we give people 25 seasons of Young Sheldon.
Yeah.
We don't want to give them something cool like the X-Files.
Yeah.
Like, just play it safe. Our yachts will be fine.
yeah.
We're good. And then we're like, this shit sucks, man. Like, give me something cool.
Yeah, I don't want to waste like the whole podcast time by looking through my phone to find it, but I have saved in my videos when I lived at my old house. Like I was rewatching the X-Files, and there's like this beautiful scene in one of the episodes where this like dude who looks like, and you probably recently watched this episode, this kid who looks like Budnick from Salute Your Shorts is in like a drive-through, like ordering a hamburger or something, and he's like, hey, what are you doing in there, man? Jerking it? I'm like, this is great. This was on Fox in like 1994.
That's when Fox was dangerous, when it's like, oh shit, we got a guy that like likes to put his hand down his pants and hates his wife.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
They just moved all that to the news station.
I was gonna say, some may argue Fox is still dangerous.
Yeah.
Just
that's true. Just in a different way.
Yeah. They
potentially
still have that guy.
It's like the actual X-Files conspiracy is now somewhat a reality,
Yeah, kind of.
and we're living in it.
Mm.
All right, who's my Scully?
Yeah.
Which one of you?
Me.
Not me.
Yeah.
Well,
I just
you have
got
the red hair.
And I'm hot, you know.
Yeah.
so-
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I love her.
yeah.
I love her.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think everything's a little bit more watered down now. I think because like everything's tested to death, everything needs to be entertaining for everybody, and
Mhm.
so I think some of the weirder stuff doesn't happen so much these days. They don't let people take chances, like Greg was saying. They're worried about making the bottom line and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So it's like everything is very, just watered down, boring, vanilla, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, it's not surprising. I feel like people just, I don't know. It can't, is it working? I don't know. It doesn't, it's like,
Nobody watches. Like
I don't want to get into like a Star Wars conversation or
Yeah.
anything, but like, is this working?
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I don't know. I know that things. I remember like stuff that was geared towards kids, like when we were kids, seemed to be weirder. Like you got Ren and Stimpy up there. Like I don't think that's something that could ever exist for kids now. I just
Butter
don't.
toast,
Yeah.
man. Like
What powdered toast?
I'm sorry.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry.
What the fuck is Bluey?
Yeah.
Has anybody ever watched that?
Bluey's actually pretty sick.
Is it
there's
good?
like
Bluey's got
toilet
kids.
humor and
Okay.
stuff. Like
All right, they're
Yeah.
talking about shit. We're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
like honestly, like Bluey, like shout out to my girl Peppa Pig.
The homie.
Yeah, real homie there. Her dad. Like there is some, but like that's the kind of like shit now that are like you can like go on the internet and people are like Peppa is poisoning your kids' minds. Like that's what
Sick.
they're trying to say. Like, and if you think Peppa's poisoning your kid's mind, like, dude, we had, Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah.
And we had the angry beavers. And like, I mean, I could keep going. Like,
Got
dude,
Rocco working at a phone sex line.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Mr. Big Head.
Yeah.
Dr. Lipshits.
Yeah.
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 Which is always funny whenever my wife like gives me like parenting advice. She's like, you should try it this way. I always call her Dr. Lipshits. I say, all right, Dr. Lipshits.
Even just like movies when we were kids too. Like you think of like Goonies really, and like how
What's that?
like messed up that is. Like with like Sloth being like locked in this like room and
Oh yeah.
and all that sort of thing. Like I
For
don't
kids.
again. I don't think that's something that like would be put out towards children these days. I just don't think it would pass through the machine now where
Mhm.
like people be like, oh well that offended me, and they're like, all right, well we got to cut that out.
I gotta say it, Ben. They could never make that now.
But it's true though, in some ways. Yeah.
I think that I don't mind that like some media can't be as like raw
Mhm.
as it used to be, because there's still weird shit that exists and people will find it. Weird kids are going to find weird shit.
Mhm.
I think the stuff that bothers me is just like 25 seasons of Young Sheldon,
Yeah.
or like again like Star Wars. It's like I feel like something about like pop culture over the course of time, now that we've had this like we'll say like in a post Elvis world, a
Mhm.
post Beatles world, is the idea of pop culture a
Mhm.
mistake?
Yeah.
Is Star Wars supposed to last this long,
Yeah, probably not.
or should we just
Yeah.
let things go?
Yes, I do agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
All good things must
there's
come
no
to an
like
end.
there's no new things. That's the thing. I can't remember where I was listening to a podcast. They were talking about this, but like everything now is like so recycled. Like again, like the kids are into Star Wars and Ninja Turtles and all that kind of stuff, and it's just like it's the same stuff that like we had when we were kids, but it's just recycled. It's just the same stuff
But-
over and over again.
But I will say, speaking from like the parent perspective, the Dr. Lipshits perspective,
Yeah.
is like, I have a 6-year-old son who is like a Ninja Turtles fanatic. And it's crazy to like relive my life as a Ninja Turtles fanatic as a parent now. Like, so it's cool. And like, I respect it. And like, I feel like there's certain things that can be recycled, but I feel like some things don't just need to keep going. Like, I feel like recycling is good, but like, I don't think we need 85 different versions of Batman.
Yeah.
Like, but it pays the bills. I don't necessarily think we need 85 different versions of, whatever we're making 85 different versions of that
Yeah.
are out there. But nostalgia is cool. I know people hate on it. I happen to dig it.
I dig it, but I also like where's the new stuff? Where's something iconic as like the DeLorean in Back to the Future? Like for kids
Cybertruck,
now.
next question.
You ever seen Young Sheldon's car?
Sick.
I suppose like only time's gonna really tell what the new DeLorean will be.
Yeah, I
Cybertruck,
guess.
next
I'm
question.
sure nobody's I'm sure nobody gave a shit like in the day or was thinking about it in that capacity. I think the one thing that's interesting about the Ninja Turtles is I think they're one of the few franchises that have managed to stay relevant in like a respectful way to the history of what it is
Mhm.
reasonably. Like they've never really tried to really change what it is.
I mean, I feel like they did somewhat in like, and I didn't know this until like recently because I would have never, before having kids, watch like the 2014 like the Megan Fox movies
Oh yeah.
and realize like the butchering they did of the stories in those like, but like even like it's still kind of cool. Like I get it, but yeah, they still tried to like remain true to it, and they're not really like adding it. Like Star Wars, it's like we don't need like 65 sagas. Like from like a horror standpoint, like stop with Saw.
Yeah.
From like an action standpoint, like Vin, hang it up, dude. Like, please, like go give us some beautiful music like that song, that one song from 2019, Feel Like I Do. We don't need another Fast and Furious. We need more Feel Like I Do. Like that's the type of stuff I'm talking about.
Try to sell me Street Sharks again. Stop driving cars
Dude,
on the moon.
Dude, there is like fake Street Sharks that are out now at Target. Like, they're called something. Like I have a picture on my phone. I'll show you after this. I sent it to my sister's boyfriend.
You have a lot of things on your phone.
My phone's like a crazy mine of
Phil
like
has so many
stuff.
things on his phone.
Yeah. Actually, great segue. I'm going to pay you the highest compliment here real quick.
Oh, wow.
After that first show that you played with us at Voodoo, rest in peace, Voodoo, I realized like, dude, you look so much like Tim Robinson.
Oh, okay.
And I was like in a good way. And I was like, dude, like, I just was like looking at him and I was like, I just felt like I was talking to Tim and I just wanted to keep doing bits the whole time. Like we were talking like after like that night. And Ben's like, you know what? He kind of does. I was like, dude, that's like one of the highest compliments you could pay anybody.
Sure.
Like I believe you could like go sit in a restaurant and some people be like, is that Tim Robinson?
Wow.
Yeah.
I might
Like
have to shave.
Like a Gallagher 2 situation
Yeah.
going on here. You can go do his
Yeah.
bits.
Gallagher 2. I saw the real one. Rest in peace. Shout out to Gallagher and Gallagher 2.
It's really back on like the Hollywood shit, and this could actually tie into the music stuff too, is I don't feel like even outside of new ideas for movies, I feel like you don't hear about like young actors as much anymore. I feel like the same people that like when we were in high school that were like the most popular actors are still the most popular actors.
Yeah.
And if I look on like Billboard rock charts, like why am I still seeing Guns N' Roses? Nothing against Guns N' Roses, but it's just like Guns N' Roses and Imagine Dragons.
Yeah.
Is this what we got? What
Yeah.
happened? But again, am I old man yelling at the clouds? I don't know. It's strange to me.
Yeah, I mean, like I feel like there's definitely like newer stuff like that's definitely breaking through. You think of like your Turnstiles, your like Code Orange, all that stuff. But yeah, when you think about like the grander scheme of things, like you don't, you don't walk into somebody's house and like somebody's mom's like, oh, you guys are the next Turnstile. So you guys are the next Guns N' Roses. Like,
Yeah.
Funny enough, my mom told me that we were the next Turnstile the other day.
Oh, nice. I hope we get that Taco Bell spot.
Just saying. Please.
Yeah, the idea of counterculture is so weird to me anymore. Have you been any of you been to like a shopping mall recently?
Mhm.
I was there yesterday.
Mhm.
So, one thing me and my girlfriend have, like, we both travel a lot for work and we have like a dead mall kind of fascination.
Oh,
So we
yeah.
try to go to like any mall that we can, just do a quick lap, see what's there. So one thing that both of us have noticed is like every store that still exists inside a mall, whether it's a dead mall or even like a thriving mall, they're all selling the same shit.
Mhm.
It's all like everybody has like graphic tees.
Aaliyah.
Everybody has like
Yeah.
one like end cap of random anime paraphernalia.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just like everything is the same, and it's all
Aaliyah, Selena, Smashing Pumpkins
Def
t-shirt
Leppard.
now. Yeah,
Yeah.
Def Leppard. Guns N' Roses. Have you ever heard of Guns N' Roses, dude?
Dude, top of the charts.
Ramones.
2024.
it's so weird to me because like I remember being like a mall rat piece of shit, and like I mean all I had was like a weird dusty corner of Suncoast Video.
Yep.
Yep.
And now it's like everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I could buy manga at Target on
Yeah.
clearance if I wanted to.
Yeah.
It's so I mean it's cool, but it's like it's interesting now. It's like what is considered counterculture
Yeah.
now? Because it can't be that.
I mean, there's whole stores of it. What is that? Like that box lunch store or whatever?
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
You can't drive 1 mile without seeing a fucking Naruto sticker on a car.
Yeah. Shout out to anime.
I mean, cool, but it's like, what is counterculture now? I don't know. It's interesting to me.
I don't know either.
I think it's conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the world has shifted, man. We're in a weird
fan
place.
fiction. Yeah.
No, dude.
I don't know. Yeah, it is. You're right. Every store in the mall is the same. It's the same like pop culture stuff. They like all kind of turn into
Rugrats.
Spencer's Gifts. Like
Sure.
all of them. Yeah.
I like how intense Spencer's Gifts has gotten. Like, if you go in there now, like when I was a kid, like, they would have like the sex toys, and they'd be like the moms are hot t-shirt.
Yeah.
And now you go into Spencer's, it's like your dad sucked my dick.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, dude.
Yeah.
Like, why is
Yeah.
everything so aggressive?
And why are these shirts so expensive?
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Spencer Gifts. Yeah. I remember there'd be like a coffee mug with like boobs on it. And you're like, cool. And then like you go back to like the poster rack and there'd be like one girl like want some cookies, and it was like a glass of milk with her boobs out or whatever. But like
that was Ben's idea.
So unbelievably specific.
This is all
that's
really,
what I remember.
This is all really good Pummeled merch ideas, by the way. Just so you know.
Yeah.
I'll get on Procreate tonight.
But yeah, I remember like a little bit of that. But you're right. Like going in there now, it's like whoa, it's pretty extreme. Extreme.
And also,
Spencer Gifts.
yeah, well, you figure it's such a funny contrast with us talking about how like more in some sort of like way the world has gotten a little bit more cozy, a little bit more like media's gotten a little bit more safe. It's not as dangerous as it used to be, right?
Yeah.
And
Spencer's.
But you go into Spencer's, it's like the Wild West in there. It somehow has gotten more intense.
Yeah.
But the other
Spit
funny
in my
contrast
mouth.
with Spencer's is now like they used to be real heavy on like the weed stuff.
Yeah.
And I guess they still are, probably, but like nobody cares about that anymore,
yeah,
do they?
That's not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's like now you can get
This
medical.
could start selling like heroin t-shirts.
That's where
dude.
Legalize it.
Yeah, legal.
It's like, I don't know about this.
Yeah, dude. I'm a real heroin head, dude. Just like
Dude, you still smoke weed, dude? I started doing
That's
straight
lame.
black tar heroin, dude, and it is. Nah, that's actually kind of messed up.
Yeah.
yeah. What are they, I'm just trying to think of like what the merch would be for like heroin.
Just like a spoon.
Yeah, like
Somehow just a
spoons
mug
and
with
needles.
boobs on it.
Yeah.
I don't know how this. What does this? have to
Ben's
do with
like, there's a
anything?"
spoon. It's between the boobs.
Yeah.
I remember it.
It's sick, dude. Now I want some cookies all of a sudden. Yeah, I don't know. It is strange to me. I don't know. I think what was fun when we were kids a little bit was like having to dig for things, having to like when you'd stumble upon, like a Nirvana shirt somewhere or something like that. Now you can get them at Walmart or whatever. you
Yeah.
know? So it's like I think the journey is maybe lost for a lot of kids, and I think that was something that was special. When we were kids, I remember like going downtown, going to like Ides or something when I was a kid, and like you'd find something, a cool record you'd never find like anywhere else, or a CD or whatever. And I think a lot of that's kind of lost on maybe like youth. Like I see it with my niece and stuff like that. Like they just have access to everything all the time.
Yeah,
So
I mean, and it's like it's like, oh, dude, you know what? Like, I want a T-shirt of this. You just go to Amazon. It's probably gonna come from like China or somewhere, but you
Yeah.
can find it. But the day the world changed, and you're talking about like the
Yeah.
specific topic of like, is when you could walk into Walmart and find an Insane Clown Posse T-shirt.
yeah,
That's the day. That was the
Yeah.
day that the world just
yeah,
changed completely.
To kind of build on that too, I think that like crate digging or like just randomly finding something in like a really obscure shop, I think it's just morphed because like you can still crate dig, but you're doing it on like Bandcamp through like genre tags and shit
Yeah.
like that.
that's true.
So like it's still there, but it's just drastically different than it was whenever like we were kids.
Yeah. I mean, I'm grateful for, that happens with
Mhm.
Bloomer and Pummeled and whatnot, but it's not as much.
I just miss Teleropa, guys. I miss
Yeah.
that used to be like one of the only places you could buy band shirts around
Yeah.
here,
And just getting a Mountain Dew coming out of Jack Nicholson's mouth.
Yeah.
Bring that back.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever happened to that?
Bring back Oakland in general.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, please. I know this is going to be very specific, but like I went to so many shows at Club Laga down there, and what was the attic or whatever was like underneath there, like
The upstage.
Upstage.
oh, the
yeah.
upstage, yeah. That was cool. And then what was like there was the shoe shop across the
Boovers.
street. Yeah, Boovers. Is that what it was?
I'm wearing
Yeah.
Doc Martens right now, which I
Was it
never wear.
Boovers or Bovers?
Bovers.
I don't
Was
know.
there two O's?
Boo.
Double V.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always called it.
You're thinking of boobers.
I remember the bass player from Teddy Deschamps used to work there, Todd. Yeah.
Now we're getting super.
I know. Now we're
granular.
like really, yeah. Like people are like, what? They already turned this off. But yeah, it was such a cool place to kind of like hang out down there. I used to love it down there when I was a kid. So I'd ride the bus down there.
Oh yeah, the 61A and the 61B used to run 24 hours.
Yep. You could just ride.
I
the
get
bus.
from Swissvale to Oakland, no problem.
Mm-hmm. Go to shows. Laga, man, those were the days. Yeah. That place changed my life. Going to like a punk show there when I was like 15, back when it was like super crusty still. There were just like old couches in there and shit. And, you know, fucking Ouse Rotten just playing or whatever. And it was like, man, this is okay. This is
Remember the
where I
love
belong.
toilets, dude?
Remember what?
The love toilets at Laga?
No.
The men's bathroom. Number one, like you would open the door and like it was just like if somebody was taking a dump, like anybody outside could see it, but it was just two toilets facing each other.
Yes.
So it was just like this. And
I love toilets.
And I'll just never forget somebody. I don't know if it was like a friend I was with at like a show or some random dude was like, dude, those are love toilets. And like it stuck with me. The Laga love toilets.
I don't remember that.
You always
Well,
pooped
obviously you
elsewhere,
never-
I would imagine.
Yeah,
You
I
obviously never
pooped out.
used
I went
them.
down to Sultan's and took a poop.
There you go.
I try to use them once every show.
Get your money's worth.
Yeah. I gotta poop. I'm going to Laga.
I'm holding it.
I'm going to Laga. Who's playing tonight? I don't care.
A hot rod circuit? I'm using those love toilets.
Yeah. I opened for Hot Rod Circuit.
You did?
once. Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
You know, I opened for
Gather around, kids.
Yeah.
Played a lot of
Back in
shows.
my day.
I did. I played a lot of shows at Log. I opened some good shows there.
Are you aware of the band Against Me?
Mm. Yeah. But Laga was cool. Do you guys remember the Vagrant who used to hang out on the streets of Oakland? He always wore like a sombrero.
Sombrero man.
Yeah. He was so nice, but he would just I'd always try to give him something. But any holiday it was, he would just say the holiday and ask for change. So he'd be like, Easter change, Easter change. And then it was like Christmas, he had like candy canes. He'd be like, Christmas change.
Sounds like a Dickens
don't-
character.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he sounded like.
Yeah. I
got a bell,
don't remember that guy. And I was there all the time. So
I don't know how you
don't-
missed him.
I mean, I tuned people out
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? Where
Huh?
am I?
What?
I hope that guy was all right.
I'm sure he's good.
I mean, I'm sure he's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's dead.
Yeah,
R.I.P.
I hope things got better.
See you at the
for him.
crossroads.
Dude, maybe the Easter change turned into an Easter fortune.
I hope.
Dude.
I hope it did. Sorry, I really brought this down.
Real downer.
Just thinking about Oakland, man. Just thinking about Oakland back in the day.
Yeah, it's funny just like how much it has changed. Every time I drive through there, I mean, you know, there's a flood of memories, but it's like so different.
It's so different.
And it's
now.
like it was an entire lifetime ago
Mhm.
now at this point.
Yeah.
You know, the last time I was in Laga was maybe 2003.
Mhm.
Yeah,
or
because it closed,
4,
what, 04, I think.
Yeah.
You know, and that was like when I graduated high school.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I've
I
like
can't-
lived an entire life since then. You
Yeah,
know, I was
can't
like-
remember.
You know,
Yeah.
probably just like 19 or 20. You know, now I'm 38. So
Yeah.
it was like half my life ago.
Yeah. It's wild.
And I'm
Yeah.
still talking about this stupid shit.
Yeah.
Dude, it hit.
That's how much of an impact it had.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I mean, I'm still that kid. Well, that full grown adult now.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I'm 37, like same Same thing. Like I'm if I haven't changed now, I'm never changing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's funny, like we took the first Pummeled like promo shots of when I joined the band in Oakland, and it's like we were standing
That's
outside the
right.
garage door, like talking about like built upon frustration and stuff, like typical like Bill and Greg talk
Yep.
stuff. And Ben's like, "Yeah, I like Nirvana," but
Yeah, I don't, you guys name you can name every hardcore band that ever existed, and I'm like, I don't.
nah,
You guys could be making shit up, and I would be like, oh
yeah,
cool.
we have,
Yeah.
we've been testing.
Joke's
it.
on you.
Yeah.
Testing me. You know, I'm like, yeah. That
Do you know how
record's
many bands we've
slamming.
made up that you said you've known? Dude, you look like such a loser to me, Greg.
Whatever.
No, we're kidding.
I know.
So, all of these years later, we've lived entire lifetimes since growing up listening to all of this stupid loud guitar music,
Mhm.
and we're still contributing to this stupid loud guitar music.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Why?
Love it, man. It's like
Yeah.
now we got I guess it's like, well, Ben never stopped. I feel like you never stopped.
Mm-mm.
I stopped, I was, and then I went to college and I was still doing it in college. And then I was like, I'm an adult now. I'm moving down south. And I lived in Hilton Head for 2 years and then like was doing like the grind of like trying to, just work and be a normal red-blooded American boy. And I was just like, dude, like I just want to play music and like I want to write music and like I have all these ideas and like it was like 2019 or no, it was like 2018 I started doing it again with like my friend like doing something completely different. And then like it led to other stuff and opening other doors, and then that's
Yeah.
how I reconnected with Ben and met Greg and all this stuff. And now I'm in 2 bands touring and making music and having fun again and all kinds of stuff. So I
Yeah.
feel like I get to live that part of my life that I always wanted to live then, but now like I kind of have the means to do it
Mhm.
somewhat. I mean, I have to balance it with like a wife, a job, a family, kids, all that stuff, but I could make it happen now.
Yeah. I don't know. I quit. I feel like I quit for a little bit. It was like a few years, maybe like 3 or 4 years where I didn't. I still played, like you still play instruments and like hang out and write things, but like to actively like go out and like play shows, we didn't for a while. Actually, yeah, me and Greg like kind of we didn't play shows for like
5
4
years.
4 or 5
Yeah.
years. But I don't know, something about when the pandemic hit was a big thing for me, um, where I got sort of rejuvenated again, having to like be in the house a lot and like just playing my guitar and doing things. And I think it was shortly after that, like once people started going to shows again, and you could see like a new like enthusiasm for it. And I had thought I kind of aged out of it, but I started going to shows and seeing people like my age like playing, because I feel like the shows we were playing like 5, 6 years ago was like very. I felt like the oldest guy in the room,
Yeah.
like constantly, and I was like, man, I'm trying to be. I'm like playing at Roboto with these like kids that are 19 years old. I was like, what am I doing here? And so I was stupidly like questioning myself. I shouldn't have been, but I was. And after the pandemic, I started going to more shows and seeing people my age playing, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I miss doing this. Like this is fun. And so yeah, we were like, well, let's see if we can find a bass player, and then this guy shows up.
Thank you, Josh, from Head to Wall.
Yeah. That's
That
pretty
was kind of the
wild.
catalyst. Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked something with his other band, Gloomer. I started following you guys or something.
Yeah, when we were on tour in Columbus in 2022, Josh, who runs Head to Wall Records, like posted a picture of us playing. Was like, you should be listening to this band. And Ben follows. He listens to social media. Whatever social media tells him to do, he does it. So he follows.
It's one of my faults.
And so like, I was like, oh, Ben Deedles. I was like, I used to watch this dude play when I was a kid. I love this guy. So like
He's still alive?
I was like, kind of. So like I messaged him. I was like, dude, this is crazy. Like I used to like, and like I started hitting him with some like rare like Ben Deedles knowledge that like nobody but me would have, and like a couple other people in the world.
Yeah.
Like referencing like his first band. I was like, yeah, dude, I used to like play Lincoln Logs by the Emotions like in my basement on guitar. He'd be like, what?
Yeah. When you busted some old ones out, I was like, who are you? And then apparently we had met a couple times. We're gonna tell you're gonna tell the
you
tattoo
have to.
story?
Oh,
You're gonna
yeah.
embarrass me.
So Ben used to work at FYE at the Robinson Mall.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a couple years. I always thought he was like 80 years older than me. Because I just assumed like everybody was way older. Because I don't know, like when I was in like my like pop punk band as like a kid in like that era, I just felt like everybody was older than me, and like I was in like the shitty band that nobody liked. But so Ben, I was like, oh look, there's Ben. There's that 80-year-old man. And he looked really cool. He was smoking a cigarette. He was like, I hate my job.
Yeah.
And I had just gotten like some sweet ink, like my second tattoo ever. Shout out to Joe Bruce. And it was like some birds, some swallows, and it said like value what you have. And Ben sees it like poking out of my shirt, and he walks over to me. He's like, hey dude, you like old school tats? And I have like no tattoo knowledge, like what even that means at this point. I was like, I just got these.
Neither did I. Like that's what I mean. Like I didn't. Yeah. Like I have no idea why I said this. Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. He's like, my buddy does some sick old school tats. Check out this skull.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. I was like,
yeah.
Are you still in whatever it takes?
Yeah. It's like, no, I got kicked out because they don't like pop songs anymore.
Yeah, I was like starstruck by him. But yeah, old school tats.
Yeah, I know.
There
You
it is.
kind
There-
of blew my mind with that. So I was
There,
like, I
right
had
there.
that.
Is
Yeah.
that skull.
Yeah, it's so cool. Yeah.
Not as cool as him hitting that cigarette.
I
It
know.
was-
That was cool.
Oh my gosh.
It's funny the way that like you interact with people in passing, and like you may not even realize like the impact that you might have on them, or the way that they remember you, even though if like you might not like remember them 100%. Like Greg, for example,
Mhm.
you worked at Hot Topic
Pittsburgh Mills, 638.
Yeah.
when I did a solo show there when Greg was working.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I didn't know you at the time, so I didn't really remember you at the
Yeah.
time, but you remembered me because I was the weird 20-year-old kid rolling around on the floor in the Hot Topic.
Well, we also got yelled at by PacSun because you guys had it cranked, and they were like, "Hey, can you guys turn it down?"
Typical
And
PacSun.
that message got passed along to you guys, so you turned it down. And then later, I found it. You were like, "Turned it back."
Yeah.
Also, you're a very memorable person.
That's true.
Greg is not.
Also true. I mean, look, at
I
me,
forget about Greg every day.
I'm just Joe somebody.
I think I'm texting Ben, and I'm like, who's this guy in this text group? No, Greg's low key like the funniest person.
Yeah, he is.
Like I thought he was gonna suck.
Are you funny? You funny?
He's hilarious.
I don't
Yeah.
think so.
Tell me a joke,
Oh,
Yeah.
buddy.
oh, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me and Greg, like there's a really cool picture on Start Today zine
Oh yeah.
from like
My boy Jeff, 2008.
from
November, I think 11th was the somewhere in mid-November of 2008.
like okay. All right, historians. But it was like a Have Heart Blacklisted show at the old Roboto. And like one of the pictures is just like Have Heart playing, and right up front it's me and the mic, and Greg's like right next
Yep.
to me, and it's just like our like mutual friend like messaged us and was like, is this you guys in the same picture? And it's funny, like a bunch of people I'm friends with now, like I find in like random pictures like we were at like same shows together, but like we just never knew. But
Didn't you
also,
go to a show in his basement?
yeah,
too?
Yeah.
I did go to.
Yep.
I went to see Polar Bear Club in his basement with my buddy Ty. I had no idea who you were.
2007.
Yeah,
And then I met to 2022.
yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's crazy. But the funny thing about that picture, that post, is not only, am I in every picture of it's Have Heart playing, Blacklisted playing, because they were like my two favorite bands at the time. But also the flyer for the show is in the post, and it's from the previous Have Heart show that I'm also in the flyer for. But in that current show and the previous show in the flyer, I'm wearing Pittsburgh sports team shirts, but I am like not a Pittsburgh sports team person. So
It was the style at the time.
yeah, dude.
It's like put an onion on your belt.
Yeah, dude. Crazy. Makes you think, right?
Putting an onion on your belt. What was that?
Simpsons does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just went with it. I had no clue.
The guys in Ostrotten did that.
Okay. I forgot about that.
Yeah, dude. It's like putting a onion on your hood.
On your hood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the band has been reasonably prolific here, I would say, over the past year. You're
Mhm.
putting out singles, you're playing shows,
Yeah.
you're doing the thing.
Yeah.
With a little bit of hindsight now, is it worth it? Are you having fun still?
Yeah. I think I'm having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I'm
been
not.
going better than I thought it would, honestly.
Mhm.
I think, like I said before, I think there's more of an enthusiasm for people to go out to shows now than there was when we were playing back in like 2018 or whatever.
Yeah, that was kind of a dark time.
Yeah.
If anybody plays bass, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I have a blast with you boys.
Yeah, it's been fun just getting to create again and doing stuff and trying to be a little more true to myself with some of the stuff that we're writing. So that's it's been good. Yeah, I'm having a blast.
Mhm.
Yeah. And now I know a bunch of like filmmakers and stuff, so I get to make these great videos. So that's everybody owes me a bunch of favors, so I just keep calling them. And I was
Cashing in,
"Hey,
baby."
yeah, remember that thing I did where you covered me in blood in your dumb movie? Well, I need you to come film this.
And now Ben's indebted to me for life. So
Now I gotta make them. Now I gotta let them modify my muff. Which, sounds like something at Spencer's Gifts. So.
That's true.
I love that poster.
Yeah, that was a good poster.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it's going good. I don't know. What do you think, Greg?
Yeah, I think that like me personally, I'm putting way less pressure on myself, which makes it way more enjoyable. Plus, like just what we're doing is like so I don't want to say foreign to me, but like something I haven't kind of delved into is like
Mhm.
it like kind of the old sensibilities mixed with like what I like now.
Mhm.
It just like makes it more fun. Like you and I went to a benefit show for my friend's dad about 2 months ago, and I ran into my friend Bill, who sang in like the last like kind of really heavy hardcore band I was in, and I described the band. He was like, "That's not what I expected at all."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't, but it's like a lot of fun. Like I probably never had this much fun playing music."
That's good.
I think the thing that's cool about you guys is like kind of like that combination of I imagine Ben bringing in more of like a pop, like a power pop rock, somewhat grunge aesthetic,
Mhm.
but then backed with like a real like heavy rhythm section,
Mhm.
and it makes it sound like a lot more like heavy than maybe another band would be, because you have a drummer that isn't playing light, like you're playing like a heavy music drummer,
Yeah.
but it all comes together and it's cool because it still has like the pop sensibilities with just like a tough rhythm section.
Yeah. No, I think you
It's
nailed
pummeling,
it.
if you will.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. Yeah,
These are
that's
two of the
what's
greatest
fun.
musicians I've ever played with. No
Wild.
shade at the other dudes. I love my Gloomer boys, and they're some of the greatest musicians I've ever played with too. But like, even they were standing outside because they came to our practice space at ABC for the first time that I like played with Pummeled before a show, and I had literally never played with them. but I just like learned the songs, and like we just ripped the set together. And like Josh, our drummer, comes in, he goes, "Dude, you guys sound insane." He's like, "You've never played together?" I was like, "Well, they have." Like, so I mean, it's just like we feed off each other. Like I always think about we just released my personal favorite Pummeled song. It's called Cloud, um, this past Friday. And I still remember the first time like we played it before going to record it um together was at the same practice space. And I just remember we all gave each other this look because they had never played it live with a bass player. They had rehearsed it together in Ben's garage.
Yeah, we demoed it, but it was something about
And then it's like once I came in and like we all hit together, like we all just had this look like,
yeah.
and it was just
I'm
like,
oh, this is pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ben was like, I thought this was going to be a sleeper song.
Yeah.
So, and I love when that happens, when like the song that you think is going to be like trash or like a sleeper is like, it hits.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you know, you got that. The bass line was like the MSG that the plate needed.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's
That's
not even
Bill.
a bass.
Bill's our MSG.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
No, it's I don't know. It's not like I'm not even doing anything. Like, hey, you wrote the bass line, but it's just like it just added this. Hearing it live, just adding, and you know, I'm a tone freak. You know, adding like what I made my bass sound like. Just, I think
That's why
pummeled it.
that's why you're the MSG. You're the muff soldering guy.
Yeah, muff solder. Yeah. Hey, if anybody out there has a big muff, let me mod your muff.
Hit 'em up.
Hit me up.
Let
If
him
you want a
mod your
pedal
muff.
built, hit me up.
Please. He's modding all my muffs. It's,
He
it's
can't
too
stop.
much.
Dude's a total muff modder.
He is. Yeah, it's been good. I don't know. I'm really glad to be playing music again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad to be out there doing it, and it's fun. It's just, yeah, I don't know. It's just a good release, good outlet for stuff. It feels
Mhm.
good. You play a good show, you're like, ah, this feels good. You know, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it seems like you guys have like a really like chill approach to being a band, which is like refreshing to see because there's so many other bands, peers of ours,
Mhm.
that I feel like, I mean, not saying that you shouldn't take it seriously, but the way that you maybe see them interact with like social media and posting things, like you could tell it's like really, it feels like it's like the end of the world if you don't like and share their
Yeah.
band page. And it's like,
Yeah.
I get that you're trying to get your shit out there, but like you're just making me not want to deal with you.
Yeah.
Like, because like really, like there's nothing special about being an artist. Really, it's like
Mhm.
you make art, cool. The art is special, but you as an artist, like to me, that's like I don't really care.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to know like all about your day to day stuff. I'm glad to see your music, put it out there. Great, that's what a band's supposed to do.
Mhm.
Like you know, I'm not gonna pat you on the back because you played a show.
Yeah.
You don't need to keep telling me about this. Like if your music is good and you guys are cool or gals or whatever,
Yeah.
if you're cool, I'll come see you.
Yeah.
If you're annoying, I won't.
Yeah.
But that's just me. I don't know.
No, I mean it makes it makes total sense, and I think it's just the low pressure vibe of this band. I think is what makes it fun and what makes it work. You know, I'm lucky that both bands that I play in are pretty low pressure, and it's like fit it in where you can. If you can't fit it in, it's not a big deal. But also, like the musicians in the band are good enough that you can trust them to show up prepared if you didn't get to practice together, or you know, you can trust them to constantly be like working in their spare time on something in some way, shape, or form. Maybe it's not writing a song, but you know, maybe they're practicing or playing drums or playing bass or writing a song, or you know, practicing how cool they look taking a drag of a cigarette outside the Robinson Mall.
Yeah.
Like that's the cool thing.
Yeah. Also, we just don't. I don't know how to promote music now.
Mm-mm.
I'm still relying on when I was a kid, and you know the way, like the old school way of doing things. So I don't know the ins and outs of like social media. We're trying with things like with this single, I tried to like make a couple fun things to put on Instagram to promote it, but
You need Falling Ben.
what?
Falling Ben.
Yeah, falling. Oh yeah, I need to do a falling Ben video. But yeah, it's like I like pressed CDs for like some of our singles, and some people are like, "You're insane."
What is
yeah,
this?
I'm like, well, this is all I know. This is how I know how to do it. Like I don't know, So and it's cheaper than pressing a record, so it's like, what the hell. But yeah, that could be also why we don't know how to be that annoying on social media
Yeah.
yet. Yeah.
I saw this like really, really funny video online recently of someone talking about like how miserable it is to be an artist in the modern day
Mhm.
because like promoting yourself on TikTok is so weird. It's such like an extroverted thing, and like people like us, it's like we're weirdos. And that's like kind of what makes the art interesting. The art is what is interesting. The people are interesting. And she was like, "Can you imagine Tom York on TikTok
Yeah.
Oh my god.
being like, did I just make the song of the summer?"
Yeah.
Can you imagine him doing that? Like you can't. And like, but like arguably, like, the dude's
General Crack.
very, very good at what he does. And it's like that's such a good point where it's just like there's no way. Oh, maybe it could, but like would a band like that, would people like that, could they thrive in today's society?
Yeah.
And like
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
You
honestly
can't get
don't.
Trent Reznor like, "Hey guys, like and share."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I don't think they would do well starting out now. I mean, I'm sure they would still make amazing music,
Sure.
but like yeah, I think nowadays it is strange. Like it's weird how you have to promote things now. So I don't know.
It's
again, we're-
studying.
yeah.
That's all it is. It's like you have to study trends, like, and that's the one thing. Like when we were about to release Poppy, like he had me to lean on with, like, hey, I just went through this with my band's release, and this is what worked for us. This is what didn't work, and it's just constantly looking at like, all right, I know this band is getting this many plays. How are they doing this? What playlists are they on? How can I get on this playlist? Like, because, all your tune cores and your distro kids are like, yeah, submit, maybe you'll get on a Spotify playlist. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But like, there's other playlists out there that like get traction, and it's like there's organic ways to get on them that aren't just like, hey, pay $2 to submit to some guy in Europe who's going to tell you like your song sucks or it doesn't suck for the 3 people that are subscribed to his playlist.
Yeah.
Like there's other ways to do it. You just need to be privy to it.
It is weird though, like the kind of like targeted ads that show up on my Instagram now, where it's like, you want to boost your Spotify numbers? You gotta listen to me. And you're just like,
do you
oh
like
my
coffee
God.
mugs with boobs?
What does this have to do with my music?
You want to get on the coffee mug with boob playlist here? Because your numbers are going to skyrocket. And it is strange. It's a different world. Plus, there's so many bands now. I feel like, I know there was always a lot of bands, but it's so strange to me when like things pop up in my feed and it's like, oh, check it out, this band, and we got opening up for this or whatever. And it's like stuff I've never heard of. And I'll click on them and they got like 30,000 followers, like some band I've like never heard of in my life. And it's like, I don't know. It's just such a weird landscape.
A lot of that is fake.
I know,
Yeah.
which is it's weird to me. I can't. I guess that's what it is. It's like it's hard to know like what's real and what's fake now,
I think-
and what's genuine and what is just like chasing a trend or whatever. Like
there
Look at
was-
likes.
There's like that.
yeah, I do know that. Yeah,
There's the the time old tale of fake it till you make it.
Mhm.
Which is, I think that's true to some degree, but I think there's like a generation of people that have taken it like way too literally,
yeah,
and it's also very easy to do that now. And also it's like it's really easy to fake things, but the funny thing is like for them making it is also in an artificial world. It's like you can
Mhm.
make it in a bubble of other people who decide to live in this world where nothing is actually real.
yeah.
I don't know if that's too like if that
No.
makes sense.
No, it does.
Like I have I know somebody that is like pretty big on like TikTok, right? And like that's their world. And like but like outside of that nobody cares.
Yeah,
It's like this isn't like a real thing. I don't know, it's like an artificial reality thing.
Yeah.
But it's like also it's like what is real, what isn't real? your life is your life. Do what you want to do. But if we steer back into like musicians, I have some musician friends that will make a TikTok account because they want to help promote their band. Good idea. Nothing wrong with that. But then they start just doing all these like, oh, like what if this song was in the genre that my band does?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well now people might like these videos, but it's not going to make anybody like your band.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like you're just kind of like creating a distraction for yourself now. It's like, do you want to be a popular TikToker or do you want people to like your band?
Yeah.
It's like you're doing it. It's like it doesn't seem to make sense to me.
What if Beethoven was new metal?
Yeah, sure. Sure. Like that kind of stuff.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. I want to follow that account.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like you can't like knock people for trying, but it's like I feel like
it gets lost.
I feel like it's things get lost and people you start doing things that like it's like you're not doing how do I say this? It's just like it's like if your idea is to be a death metal band, right? It's like do you want to be a death metal band or do you want to have like a funny social media comedy account?
Yeah.
Maybe you could do both.
That's
But, like-
very like I think Sanguisuga is the only band that's getting away with that.
Yeah.
But it's true, like people, and like I'm guilty of it, you know, with my other band because I am the, you know, that's like I am the Ben of that, right? Like, and it's, you know, I used to hold myself to we need to be at least at this many followers and whatnot, but then like you get to this point where you realize, like, wait a minute, like this stuff doesn't necessarily matter. It doesn't matter that maybe this band has more followers than me because number one, like when it's all said and done, like your art's your art, and like your followers don't necessarily translate into your plays on Spotify. Your followers don't translate into people putting you on album of the year lists. Like I was shocked to be added to like some people's like album of the year lists that like we got added to, you know, like it's just nuts. Like people like your stuff. Like they will genuinely like your stuff, and if they're just following you, it's just like it's some people are just like mindless. Oh, this person's following me. I'm going to follow them back. They don't care about your band. That doesn't mean anything. Most people's followers are just like friends and family who are like supporting them. Like your followers don't mean anything.
Yeah, and I
It's
mean,
that-
like, I'm the type of person that I don't like go out of my way to like follow bands that I like. I never really think about it. If it happens to pop up and I'm like, oh, there's, you know, I can't even think of a band that I like. I don't listen to music anymore.
Yeah.
But you know, like, I don't know, like, oh, there's the BTS page. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
follow it because you know I'm a huge K-pop stan.
Yeah.
I'm not. But nothing wrong with K-pop. I don't need the K-pop people to come after me.
Yeah.
But I think that the important thing is really just focus on like what your art is.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're making really good music, people are gonna find it.
Mhm.
And you don't need to like that's like, you know, there's the whole like, how do I go viral? How do things go viral? How do things like there's always those artists that come up out of nowhere for some people, and it's like maybe like a Turnstile, for example, right? And it's like they were just really good and played a lot of shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Just-
Turnstile was busting their ass for
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
Like playing the Smiling Moose, playing all kinds of places.
Yep.
Like, I mean, there is, and you know, I shouldn't say like your followers don't matter because, you know, there is a whole like generation of like these bands that like got big because of TikTok and doing it and are huge and playing to huge crowds now and whatnot. And not to take anything away from them, like they earned it. Like the formula works for some people. I guess the point is exactly what you said. Like, don't put so much pressure on yourself to be that person because that's not going to happen to everybody.
Mhm.
And sometimes it's just you're at the mercy of a freaking algorithm. And sometimes you have to buy into that. Hey, you know, what if Beethoven was K-pop? You know, like it's just focus on your art and good things will happen if your stuff if you put your heart and soul
Yeah.
into it. And I mean you're talented, right? Like if you're focusing on your art and it's not good, I mean I can't promise you like nothing's gonna come, but like
Yeah, you got to just focus on that. And then all the other stuff is just noise. And
Yeah.
you do the best you can with it. You know, like you said, like if you could try to chase a playlist or make a fun post or whatever for the internet, great. But I think ultimately too, just trying to be yourself is the key. I think if you're just trying to glob onto like what other trends that are happening, or other, like, oh well, this guy made a TikTok video that looks like this, I got to make one like that too. I think people can see through that kind of stuff
Yeah,
too.
and it becomes like the shopping mall, where
Right.
now it's like all of these stores in the mall look the same. It's like
Yep.
all of these posts that everybody's making to promote their unique art, it all looks the same.
Yeah.
It's all the same camera angles, the same little cheap text overlays,
Yep.
the same concepts, the same, what if Beethoven was Nirvana?
Yeah.
Whereas
It's like, what if?
yeah, and it's okay. Like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I think
it just doesn't interest me.
I think like all of this just is under one big umbrella of the ethos that we've had since we started doing the band again. Is if I have to say I have to do this, not I want to do this.
Yeah.
This will be fun. This will be rewarding.
Mhm.
Like, oh, I have to do, like, I gotta make a video. What if Beethoven was from Seattle?
Yeah.
Like if it's not fun, don't do it.
Yeah.
And like I think that's been the big difference since we started doing the band again.
Mhm.
But what if Beethoven?
What if though?
Yeah.
Let's talk for a second. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
What if Mutt Lang produced a Beethoven record?
Yeah, dude. Now you're talking.
What if
it's-
Steve Albini produced the Four Seasons by Vivaldi?
Yeah.
Recently been on a little bit of a Mutt Lang distraction
Mhm.
because me and my girlfriend were realizing that all of like the late 80s, 90s Def Leppard sounds exactly like Shania Twain,
Oh.
Yeah.
Shit.
and it's all the same. Mutt Lang did all of it.
Yeah. It's all Mutt Lang.
Yeah, Man, I Feel Like a Woman is a Def Leppard song.
Yeah. It kind of is.
I'm hearing it in my.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah. It kind of
dude.
is.
I'm kind of fucked up now.
Yeah.
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 What if? Did I just write the song of the winter?
The song. of the
What?
winter.
So, okay, let's throw this out there, because now my brain's thinking about another social media thing that I've been seeing a lot of, where it's like people are doing the AI voice thing to
Mhm.
do like I see a lot with James Hetfield
Yeah.
singing songs in the style of other things. Is anybody else sick of this already?
Yeah.
Yes.
Stupid.
Yeah. I don't like it.
The people doing impressions is like, wait, what was the one we kept listening to on the tour, and the Gloomer tour? That Josh kept making us listen to was Goofy.
Oh yeah, Goofy doing what was it, Evanescence?
Whoa,
Rick, me to life.
Wake me up.
Yeah.
Can't wake up.
Yeah. Like that's funny. I'm into that, but like, yeah, no, I'm not into this AI. Making like again, like Kurt Cobain sing Everlong or whatever. It's like I don't need that. Like
I will tell you,
it's goofy.
like the Joe Biden and like Trump talking back and forth AI stuff, like I kind of laugh at that, because it's like,
Well, yeah,
because they're talking like how like the kids talk these days, where it's like, no cap.
yeah. I don't know. I'm not into the AI involved in music stuff really at all,
Nah.
unless it's like cleaning up like sound or something. Like I'm into that, but not like I don't know, whatever. Like I didn't listen to it, but the new Beatles song that they released, and they're like, we finished it with AI.
Who knows?
Yeah,
I
General
didn't even
Cracker.
hear
General
about that.
Cracker. Yeah, General Crackers. You didn't hear it? Yeah.
Uh-uh.
No,
No.
he's
No, it was
kidding.
called-
There is a new Beatles song that they finished with AI or
It
whatever.
was like a John Lennon like demo or something.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
supposedly, and it's like that's kind of weird to me. Like I don't know. I think it should. I just think things are gonna get too strange. with that.
That's I don't like the potential of just like how, what is the threshold on the amount of new Beatles music that could be released.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like we gave the Beatles $8 million to finish one song. And it's like, you could have given that money to anyone.
Yeah.
You
To,
thought
like-
they were done.
Yeah,
They're
like-
just getting started.
God, like, just
And then
like
here we
give
are at
somebody
movies
else a
again.
chance.
Yeah.
You're talking about give Peace a chance. Give Pummeled a chance.
Yeah.
Give Pummeled a chance. That's what
I've
here to
a
say.
very I don't think there's a lot to be recognized with the Beatles that I'll say, okay, yeah, you wrote some songs and some of them were pretty cool,
Mhm.
but I also just like do not care.
No,
Yeah,
same.
I'm not
You know?
like, yeah, I don't like hate on the Beatles. I'm not like a Beatles hater. Like I listened to the Beatles growing up, like, went through that, like, oh, I play guitar, I listen to Jimi Hendrix and the Beatles, dude. Like, come on. But, I just like when somebody's like, dude, Abbey Road, I'm like, dude, what about it? Like,
That's cool. You ever hear Loveless?
yeah, true.
Yeah, I might be the only like Beatles stan here, but
Mhm.
I mean, they were great. Yeah. I don't know if I get like all like the huge worship around it, but I don't know. There's a lot of things that are like big worship.
Well, I think that
stuff.
I don't get that at all. Like I don't sit there and I'm not huge worshiping My Bloody Valentine as the joke he just made.
Yeah.
Like couldn't care less. Like I love them. They're great, but
yeah, I think that like there's like a normal threshold for how much somebody should like something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like anytime somebody's like again going back to Star Wars, somebody would be like, "Are you a Star Wars guy?" And I'm like, I like Star Wars about as much as anybody should.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like
And
your normal
and I
amount
think
of
that
Star
like with the
Wars.
Beatles too, it's like, yeah, I
Yeah.
like the Beatles. Like I like these are there's a lot of really cool songs, and they wrote a lot of songs
Yeah.
that like I when I worked at Get Hip, we listened to like there was one day where we had like the box set and we like started for like a week. We listened to everything like
Mhm.
in order. And it's like, oh yeah, I know this song. I know this song. I know this song. I know this song. I know, it's like, holy shit. There's so many songs that are like burned into my brain. And there's like power on that. Like, like it's crazy. And it's also crazy to think about like how short of a time period it was that all of that happened.
Yes.
It was like under a decade.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
put out like, over a dozen albums and this crazy sound change. It's like all of us have been making music for twice as long as the Beatles have been at this point.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And think about like how much happened in their lives at that point.
Mhm.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it was just a different time. Like now it's like you think about the amount of music like the Smiths put out in like such a short amount of time that they were like a functioning band. Like if anybody tried to put out 4 albums like in a row, like in 2 years or whatever, like we were like, what the heck are you doing,
Yeah.
dude? Like
Who do you think you are, Weezer? I mean,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, no, I mean, they're the Beatles. I like them a lot. I lean a little bit more towards the early stuff because I just like a great pop song. But yeah, I totally understand why like Bill and Greg maybe don't like them now because they have been sort of shoved down our throat our entire lives, like a
Yeah.
little bit, and for good reason. Like you're saying, they've written a lot of great songs, but it's like they have been like pounded into us since we were
Yeah.
kids. Like there's a few bands that are kind of like that where it's just like
Led
all right, they're
Zeppelin.
fine, yeah,
that's worse to me. Like I'll take the Beatles any day. Like this one guy I used to work with at Texas Roadhouse in Ohio. I'll never forget like having this conversation with him when I was in college. He was like, "What's your favorite band of all time, dude?" And I was like, "Alkaline Trio."
yeah.
And he was like,
This was last year.
Sick though, yeah.
"No, dude, no, that's not what I mean. Like, what's your favorite band of all time? Like every band that ever existed." I went, "Oh, okay, Alkaline Trio."
Yeah.
And he goes, "I don't even know who that is. I'm talking like Led Zeppelin, the Beatles, Pink Floyd." I go, "Oh, so like just in your world."
Yeah.
I said, "No, to answer your question though, Alkaline Trio."
Yeah.
I said, "Led Zeppelin sucks." Like, no, like Led Zeppelin doesn't suck. I just like don't care if
It's just not
Well, you
your
don't
thing.
like Thor?
Yeah.
It's just like people like that's a band that like just because you play guitar or you like rock music, like you gotta pay your respects to Led Zeppelin, dude.
Yeah.
See, to me, like to get so hung up on a band like the Beatles or even like Led Zeppelin is like I discovered fire and that's it. It's like, dude, fire's cool. Have you heard of electricity? It's
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just like dig a little deeper. Like, don't just settle for like,
Yeah.
oh, I heard of this band when I was 7 years old, and that's like the most obscure. Like, the Led Zeppelin is the most obscure band I've ever heard of. Like,
It's like, dude, have you heard of the DeLorean? That's cool, dude. Have you seen the Cybertruck?
yeah, it's sick.
Yeah.
Did you see that meme that it's just the Cybertruck and it says PV?
Oh, that's good. That's good.
That's Bill passing out on Christmas good.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a reason why a lot of those bands are iconic and
Sure.
people are still wearing their t-shirts and stuff. Like, yeah, they made like great tunes, but I've always been more of a fan of digging a little deeper and trying to find stuff that wasn't exactly, on DVE classic lunch every day. You know what I mean? Like
Bowling for Soup.
that stuff's
Electric
good. I'm like, no joke. I mean, there's some Led Zeppelin songs that I fuck with, sure. But do I go out of my way to like listen to it like every day or would I like talk to somebody and be like, you're insane for liking a punk band instead of this band that ripped off a bunch of blues riffs, whatever, there's a reason why they're good. I'm not gonna say they're bad, but
I would still answer that question the same too.
yeah,
Probably.
well, Alkaline Trio is awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
so no joke, but yeah.
Yeah, see, like I'm more of like, you're a sucker for a good pop song, like, and let's say like I'm not hating on the Beatles because like I love old surfy stuff. Like that's my thing. Like when you think about like Dick Dale, like the Trash Band, like that's like when I go to buy like if I'm gonna buy like an old record, like I'm gonna either buy that or like I'm gonna buy like, and this isn't even that old, but like Sade. Like
Yeah.
that's what
Sade rules.
yeah, dude. Big Sade kick
Yeah.
going on right now. So like I don't know, but yeah, like I love like that early like poppy vibe like that, and I feel like there's like definitely like a parallel between like those early Beatles songs and like you think about like those like early surf songs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody was kind of like doing that vibe then. I think I have a general aversion, and this is something that we were goofing off
Crackers,
when
General
I
Crackers.
was filling in for bass for your band, and I kept doing this joke about hard rock, and like I have this like general aversion to anything that's like like on the back of like a motorcycle sticker or whatever. It's like Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin and that kind of like stuff. It's like you have to like it, dude. It's hard rock.
Yeah,
like
dude.
I don't know. I get like I have a general aversion to stuff like that.
Just
Even
like-
though I'll acknowledge some of it is good.
Yeah.
Like
Is
I
it
like
like-
some Def Leppard shit for
is
sure.
it like
but,
is
you
it
know.
like a conversation where it's like the music is good, but the culture leaves a bad taste in my mouth?
Yes,
Mhm.
and there's always been bands like that where like,
Like
the band's
AC/DC
the band's
is, like-
good, but I don't like the people that listen to it.
ICP.
Yeah, okay. Well, no, I mean
No,
some juggalos are
fine.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I like them, but yeah.
But that's a band that gets a lot of shit, I
Yes,
think.
too
And
much
it's
shit, I
most
think.
because what I mean is like it's mostly the culture.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
like most people will be like, I hate ICP. And it's
Yeah.
like if you hate something, you should tell me like why.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, the people will blow, it's like, okay, this has
Like-
nothing to do with the band.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
great. Those two dudes are great dudes, man.
Yeah, they made some fun songs. Yeah.
Great dudes.
Yeah, no, I don't have any problems with juggalos. Just want to make
Yeah.
sure that that's
Yeah.
I definitely don't.
Juggalo
Ben
friendly
and I
podcast, K-pop stand friendly
Yeah.
podcast.
yeah.
Ben, there's proof on the internet of Ben and I at a Gloomer show painted up as juggalos.
Yeah,
true.
there is. Yeah.
Beatles friendly podcast.
Yeah.
Although I recently was at Walt Disney World, and
I
I
saw
did
that.
I did take a moment of silence when I was in the lobby of the Polynesian Hotel
Mhm.
because that's where John Lennon signed the contract papers that broke up the Beatles.
Oh
Oh,
shit.
get out.
Yes,
That's
in the
pretty
lobby
wild.
of the Polynesian. So I did take a moment of silence and said this is where it ended, but it never did end.
No,
Nope.
'cause
They're
we
back,
just-
dude.
never
just
did it.
got a new one.
Back and better than ever, dude.
Yeah.
Apple Records.
Yeah. Back and better than
Thank you,
ever.
Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Thank you, AI. It's great.
Right.
Can't wait till like, it's crazy to think with like AI that like there's like a company starting like AI like newscasters. Like, dude, like we are
Nah.
we are there. That's why we need like the music industry, we need a Fran Drescher, dude. Because what she did, like leading like the charge of like the writers and actors
Yeah.
guild and like getting like AI out of it. Like, Fran, we need you in the
Yeah.
music biz. Keep AI out.
It is so weird that some of these like dinosaurs of rock are still releasing. It's like with Beatles, and then like didn't the Stones just release something?
Everybody says
again?
They just put out a new,
it's
like,
crazy
record.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I hear.
I mean, that's fine. I don't know, man. Like,
My barber loves the Rolling Stones.
Well, the thing too is
I mean, I
just
like
like
the Stones too. But
I mean,
The Stones.
it's like you just basically have. I don't know how much I believe when I like hear stuff like, okay, the Rolling Stones put out a new record. And as much as I hate to say this because I fucking love Judas Priest, it's like, okay, it's like, yeah, the new stuff sounds really fucking good. But I'm also sure on the back end that it's all like
Studio
young
magic.
people in the studio
yeah,
touching things up, making it sound super tight, and the songs are fun.
yeah.
But it's like, how involved are like the Rolling Stones or Judas Priest? Like, even if the members are alive, it's
Yeah.
like, how much is happening on the post end? I
Yeah.
mean, you see Judas Priest or the Stones live, they're still fucking playing. They can still do it, but it's like,
But where's our new
don't
Rolling
know.
Stones? Where's
I don't
our
know.
new like bands like that are going to be around when we're?
Imagine Dragons.
I was
Yeah, that's
just
what
thinking
yeah,
that,
like, is it going to
brother.
be that? Is that what we're going to get? Like when we're like 20 years from now? Like
Feel the
that's
thunder.
they're still going to be doing Icy Light Amphitheater or Starlight.
So
or
I-
whatever.
not even there.
I know.
I apparently there's like I heard about this through a metaphorical grapevine, meaning I just like read somebody or somebody was talking about. I guess Imagine Dragons put out like another record more recently after like all of like, the big pop hits
yeah.
that's supposed to be more like gritty and raw,
Mm,
supposedly.
Hard rock.
yeah,
hard
sorry,
rock.
hard rock.
I haven't heard any of it. None of it's on the radio,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I'm sure I wouldn't like it.
Something
but
tells me it's not that gritty.
it's
Yeah.
probably
And here's a bridge we haven't crossed yet in the music thing that like is having its moment right now, and like it's kind of driving me nuts. Is like the like butt rock moment that's happening, like the dad rock thing, like how everybody's like pumped, like, oh, Creed and Three Doors Down are coming to
yeah.
Post Gazette Pavilion or whatever the heck it's called now, like.
Stains back, baby.
Like-
The butt rock revival.
Yeah, like Nickelback's having like their moment again. Like, don't get me wrong, like I never turned my back on Nickelback, okay? Like, but like, I don't know, dude. It's like it's just I couldn't picture like some of these bands are just like cashing in that like people are like listening to it like just as a joke,
Yeah.
and it's just like
Yeah, I think the Creed thing's very like the people are. It's like and it's like an ironic kind of thing.
yeah,
It's more of a meme than like, oh, I legitimately like this band.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I think there was probably like a this is gonna sound more dramatic than I want it to, but we'll call them like the forgotten generation of like, like all kind of like, I don't know, like army adjacent type
Troop
high
Fort.
school kids that
Yeah.
were like
Troop rock, dude.
that were like into that stuff. I mean, there's a lot of people
Yeah.
that were into that kind of
That's true.
stuff.
Yeah.
And they kind of got
Core
left
10.
behind in terms of like whatever pop culture is, and like those people exist. Like Nickelback has never stopped being a band, and they
Yeah.
always get shit on for being like the worst band, and I'm like, there's plenty worse fucking
yeah,
bands,
they're not that.
and they're
bad.
still filling
Yeah.
up like big pavilion size. Like
Yeah.
they'll play it, whatever the fuck you want to call it, whenever
Yeah.
they come through.
Yeah.
I guess it's Star Lake again. It's
Yeah.
what the pavilion at First Niagara at Star Lake
Yeah.
at Pavilion
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
First Niagara, whatever it's called
Yeah.
now. So-
Yeah. And like for like a Nickelback, like I'm
Key Bank.
happy because like they're getting like they like you said, they never stopped, and like they're getting some stuff that they deserve. And I'll tell you what, man, there was a Nickelback album a few years ago. It was called like Feed the Machine or something, and it was like Nickelback's heavy album. No more of this photograph bullshit. And dude, They weren't lying. Like, I put that on, like, one year, like, on vacation, like, trying to be funny, and I was like, yo. I was like, leave it on.
Leave it on.
Leave it on.
But they also did that like really bad like Maroon 5 era. Do you remember that like funky little monkey song that they did?
Yeah, I do.
I don't.
Nah, I'm good though.
Yeah. I mean, they were trying things. I mean, good for them, you know.
Like, I put on the new record when we were on tour, and like there's like it started off heavy, and then there was like some whack songs.
There was
where it
definitely
like,
some whack stuff.
there was like Little Miss something.
Yeah, that was bad. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, there was some bad stuff. But I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I guess you're right. There was a whole generation of people that loved that butt rock stuff, and some of it's like kind of fun. You know, I don't know. I mean, I don't hate on all of it.
That's such a Ben answer. I love it. It's fun. Like
Some of it is.
Yeah, I love that answer. though.
Diplomatic deedles.
Well, you know, it's like because like I know that those people exist because I'll see them like they're the people that will go
to the
like
Capitol.
to like the yes. They'll go to like the Slipknot show because like now they have like a 14-year-old kid that's like really into Slipknot, you know, and it's oh, you know what? Actually, when I saw the biggest congregation of that demographic of people that I've seen in recent memory was when I saw Korn with Stained opening up for them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Aaron Lewis is like he's their cult leader.
So
dude.
like the emotional response. I've never seen so many men crying and simultaneously with mouths full of chewing tobacco at the same time.
Dude,
as I did when I saw Stained. But I'll tell you this, Stained played really fucking good. And even Aaron Lewis, he was doing the screams. He was jumping around on stage. I was surprised.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like a really lazy set. They sounded great.
Yeah.
I don't agree or particularly care for anything that Aaron Lewis has to say.
Yeah. No.
But as a band, they showed up. They did their fucking job.
He puts those Adidas and windbreaker back on. He's in it.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to like a place that has like a lot of geese and there's like a lot of geese poop everywhere, goose poop?
Yeah.
Yes.
I would imagine like after that Stain show, like all the little chew spits.
Well, actually, I don't know if you know this, but that's actually why Star Lake agreed to do the shows because it's a refertilization program for the lawn.
Smart. Yeah, bring him in. The lawn's gonna look great for the Imagine Dragons show later. So yeah, that's great.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, dude, that was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
They were good. It was a good show. I had another thought recently that I want to put out there before we wrap things up. We've talked so much about the band, by the way, today. So yes,
We're a band, by the way.
Pummeled put out songs,
Yeah.
playing shows. Check them out.
Yeah.
I just think you guys might get a kick out of this, which is why I want to bring it up. So recently, I did a New Year's Eve show like with my work. We did like a Taylor party thing at the Anthem in DC. And my girlfriend had just been there a couple weeks ago to see Morrissey. And it made me think because you brought up the Smiths.
Yeah.
So we're there. And the whole time I couldn't help but like POV me being backstage at this venue through the eyes of Morrissey.
Yeah.
Because like they had this like really rickety steps to go up to the load in. I'm like, do you think Morrissey walked up these steps or was he carried in?
Yeah.
Like how did and also like, do you think Morrissey like dealt with this? I just kept thinking about like how every little annoying thing might happen and if like Morrissey dealt with it or not.
Yeah.
There's no way.
And
I'm surprised he played.
yeah, he showed up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Apparently it was a really good show.
Yeah.
I was not there. A similar thing that has happened to me was we were in Denver and they made like everybody on the team wear these like little wristbands with balloons on them to like identify people. And a couple days after us, Cradle of Filth was going to be coming through. And all I could think about was Danny Filth with a little balloon on the whole time. And I still wonder if he had to wear his
Just
little
leather
balloon
pants,
wristband.
black lipstick, balloons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be my MySpace name if I was like a Cradle of Filth fan. It'd be Cradle Bilth.
Yeah.
Like
Sick.
myspace.com/Cradle of Bilth.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cradle of Bilth. That's good.
At one point, it was myspace.com/smallbrownbill.
Small brown belt.
We don't have time to go into
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I settled on Gabilla biscuits.
There you go.
It's fun to think what Morrissey was annoyed by at that venue.
Everything.
Yeah.
Morrissey would love this room. The hospitality here is great.
That's true.
Yeah, he'd probably like this. Yeah. You never know though.
If he'd even show up.
Yeah. if he'd even show up, it's right. Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, I think it may be a good time to not pull the plug on our hanging out,
Mhm.
but maybe to let the listeners out there in the world go about their day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's been episode 1 of, what was this? All chips, no chicks.
Yeah,
all chips, no chicks.
No chicks.
But yeah, hit me up, Bill Christos on Instagram. I will modify your muff. I'll build you a big muff. I'll do whatever you want to a pedal.
Yeah. He will. I've seen it. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
Thanks,
about
thanks for
Pummeled?
having us, man. Oh, Pummeled. Yeah, we're out there. We got some new singles on Spotify. Check us out, or wherever you listen to
Cloud,
music. Deezer. Yeah, we just released one called Cloud. If you like YouTube, we made 3 music videos last year. Go watch those. And yeah, we're out there. Just
Having fun.
yeah, follow us or
At
whatever.
Pummeled Band,
Yeah,
right?
we're doing a what if we sounded like Beethoven video next week, so should be really cool. Yeah.
And also, I will say, if you are a fan of podcasts and movies,
Yes.
these
Yeah.
guys.
Greg and I also do a podcast called Neon Brainiacs. Brian's been a guest on there a couple
Yep.
times.
Yes, I
2 or
have
3
been.
times, I think.
They won't invite me on because they're afraid that their listeners will like me better.
We can't have our 2 third guys linking up in real life.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
But yeah, Neon Brainiacs, new episodes every Wednesday.
Mhm.
We do that too. And Bill, you'll be on one eventually.
Yeah.
Once
When you got something
as
to
soon as you
promote.
modify my muff.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for having us.
Yes,
man. This
of
was
course.
fun.
Always great, man. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, thank
Good
you.
seeing you guys.
Yeah.
Great meeting you, Tim.
And well, I guess we'll just do this outro type thing where I'm like, that is all, folks. Thanks so much for being here. I'll be back again next week with another episode. Same time, same place, same channel. You know the drill. My name is Brian. Start the Beat is the podcast. Take care of yourselves. Take care of the people around you. Peace. And we are done. That was a fucking podcast.
Yeah.
Fun.